Willkommen, meine Freunde. Ich hab's herausgefunden. Man müsste es anvisieren. Auf die sollst du mal kommen. Einsteigen.
Tell Cora we're back.
Captain, it is pleasant to see
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance.
Hi.
Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander?
Ich bin offiziell für sprechen.
Yeah, listen to him carefully. The commander's a one-and-done kind of officer. In other words, he hates to repeat himself. Other than that, just observe standard military decorum, and it should keep you from serving any time on the ship's cleaning detail. I'm not authorized to divulge information about this vessel. Suffice to say, it's one of the toughest ships in the UC's arsenal.
Okay.
Understood? If you'd follow me, please.
Ja, gerne.
So, you're the vanguard that took down that terramorph on Tau City.
Ja.
You've made quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it. Damn. That must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun. Of course, we don't normally see that kind of action on the Vigilance. But we have our moments.
Echt? Welche?
All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you. Good luck.
Dankeschön. Jetzt runterfahren. Hi. Wir werden alles ausrauben.
Howdy.
I believe we have something important to discuss.
Yes.
Ah, there you are. Commander Kibwe Ikande, UC
Hi.
System. Glad to have you aboard.
Ich bin Captain
I
John.
was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer.
Okay.
UC System
Yeah?
is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle big picture stuff, we deal specifically with pirates. Since you're already involved with the Vanguard, I don't have to underline how important your contribution will be to the security of our spaceways.
Ja.
It appears he's certainly picked the right person for the job. So, now that you're part of the team,
nicht das
allow
Gleiche,
me
ich
to
will ja noch
introduce you
Brot.
to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance. SysDef's nerve center, dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet.
Okay.
That's strange. According to your file, you've encountered them before. On Vectera specifically. They were the pirates that attacked your mining outpost. I'm surprised you don't remember.
Ah, ja genau, als würde ich wissen, wer das ist.
We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily.
Okay, danke.
Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking.
Oh.
We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses.
Okay.
The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention.
Klingt nicht gerade nach einem Effekt. Oh.
Aurora is a Class A controlled
Wieso
substance
frage
that's
ich
illegal
nach?
to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously holding it will be spending the rest of their life in prison.
Ist aber nicht nett.
That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to
Das
evidence
macht
gathering.
Spaß, Leute, undercover.
That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture.
Okay.
She'll explain
Komm,
everything
let's
you
go.
need to know.
Ja, von mir aus kann es, warum müssen wir...
Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the
Passt.
same time,
Mach mal
we
so.
can use the evidence to
Auf jeden
arrest
Fall.
members of the
Wir
Crimson
schalten die
Fleet,
Crimson Fleet
weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow.
Ja.
Eager to get going? Good. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down.
Auf jeden Fall.
Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment. Trust your instincts. And watch your back.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly
Was denn
clear.
das auf uns alle scheißt?
As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control.
Okay.
The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing.
Das ist
Money.
eine schöne Regel.
All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? That's what I wanted to hear.
Ja.
Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. That's easy to answer. You don't.
Gar nicht.
We'll be monitoring your activities from the vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own.
Okay.
All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're
Ja,
out there
das
in the
Undercover,
first place.
gell? Das ist...
Then you do what you have to do. The Crimson Fleet has the potential to kill hundreds, even thousands of people per year. If it takes a few deaths to maintain your cover, then so be it. But only as an absolutely final resort. This is not a licensed killing spree. Understood?
Was? Kein Massenmord? Okay.
That's why I expect you to constantly seek alternative means to overcome your obstacles, rather than blowing holes in them. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you.
Passt.
If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do
Ja,
the
ich
right
mag auch
thing.
keine Unschuldigen zu töten, muss ich zugeben.
Dismissed.
Hey.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much
Mic
evidence
off.
as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find.
Mic on.
Was ich, wenn ich nichts
I
finde?
scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing.
Okay, passt.
Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess.
Falls ich überhaupt...
You better make it, because Commander Ikande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right.
Ja.
That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. That's all we're asking.
Ah.
Oh, before you go, there's
Sie
one
wollte
more
darüber
thing.
jetzt fragen, schon, ob sie
Commander
darüber-
Ikande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Well,
Yeah.
that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. It's not generous, it's motivational.
Wow,
Commander
okay,
Ikande's
jetzt
idea.
seid ihr richtig,
All right. We've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's
richtig
cargo hold.
fiese.
We're also providing you with a sample you
Prise.
can use to tease the goods.
Nein,
We've cleared your ship
ich
for
muss alles
launch.
selber zahlen.
Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Boden. And with any luck,
Ja,
she'll point you to the
passt.
Crimson Fleet.
Bin
That
bereit.
should do it. You're dismissed. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe.
Ja.
No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life.
Ja,
There are
wieso
much
nicht?
more important things to be
Zum
done.
Beispiel.
Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time. Okay?
Okay.
Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake.
Boah, nicht mal ein bisschen Spaß darf man haben.
We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. We'll be here if you need us.
Ja, schauen wir uns gleich an, oder? Ich möchte schauen. Nein. So. Nein. So. Ah, da.
Excuse me.
Arrestzelle.
Yes. What?
Geh mal durchs Schiff und suchen die Arrestzelle.
Okay, hello.
Hallo?
Pardon.
I woke up in the middle of the night once and found Ensign Betty tinkering with some machine.
Wieso zieht er gleich die Waffe, Alter?
Howdy.
I'm as the son of Jemison. Once I get time off, that's the first place I'm jumping.
Okay. Ah, echt jetzt? Darf ich nicht? Das ist gemein. Okay, ich finde die Reststelle nicht.
But vigilance, I feel literally.
Pardon.
Da kommen wir auch nicht rein. Muss es irgendwo da unten sein oder da rechts? Keine Ahnung, wo wir im Schiff sind.
Mole. I don't know about you. People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature. Hard to read.
Okay.
When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules. But you're a southpaw. A wild card.
Okay.
You might. But we aren't at that point yet. And right now, I have my reservations that we'll ever get
Du
there.
wirst mir vertrauen.
But if Commander Ikande says you're Sistef, then you are one of us. For now.
Ja.
I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail?
Nein.
Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other
What?
Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with Sistef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is.
Er war auch bei der Queens.
You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best, and I've got the kills to prove it.
Okay, okay, okay. Wirklich schön, dass du auf meiner Seite bist.
You got some set of manners, kid. The fleet are gonna eat you up.
Ach, du bist so nett,
Try
danke.
not to forget who you are, okay? It'd break the commander's heart to have to hunt you down.
Yes? What?
Wo ist das Gefängnis? So, Dockenschleuse. Okay. Dies wird vom Computer geöffnet.
Okay. Hello.
Alter, was ist mit euch?
Excuse me.
So, ah, da ist es.
We'll keep the brig
Ah,
ready
nein.
for any pirates you bring.
Ist da wer? Ah. Ich muss erstmal Leute verhaften, gell? Jetzt habe ich ja noch keinen verhaftet. Ah, wie cool. Da können wir den immer plaudern.
Welcome to the brig.
Ah.
As a member of SysDef, you may talk with the prisoners as long as you are mindful of Operation
Ja,
Security.
weiß ich.
As a personal rule, I simply ask that you adhere to UC Navy standards of cleanliness at all times. That means no mud on your boots, your hands are washed, and you are free of any contagious diseases.
Okay.
besides the fact that it's healthier? A sanitary brig is important for station security. In my experience, a prisoner will hide a shiv under a flake of dust if you let them. The cleaner a space is, the easier it is to spot irregularities, both inside the cell and out.
Oh.
Excellent. And all that being said, I understand your mission directive might call for flexibility on my part. So if you need to be a rum-drinking, swashbuckling pirate to do your job, then I will do my best to clean up after you.
Das ist aber nett. Das ist aber
He's a
echt
good
nett.
man, singularly focused when it comes to the fleet. But that's not to say he doesn't care about his crew. I can tell you a story as an example if you'd like to hear it. Usually only when he has business here. But pretty much everyone passes by the brig on their way to other parts of the ship.
Echt?
Given he sees barely a glance of me most days, you'd think he wasn't paying attention. Hence the story, if you've got time.
Ja, gerne. Ich hab
So,
Zeit.
I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I forget to take breaks. One day, Commander Ikande passes by the brig and sees me at my desk. He takes one look at my haggard face and says, "Officer, I'm headed to the mess hall. If you're not with me in 15 minutes, your services will no longer be required on my ship." I tried to protest, but he was dead serious. So I went. We had lunch, talked about old times, and I went back to the brig, refreshed and ready to work. It's little things like that. You can see he pays attention, and that he cares about the people, not just the work.
Ohoho. Das ist ein guter Captain, muss ich echt sagen. Aber ich bin auch ein guter Captain.
We have multiple turrets attached to the ceiling. If you've met Ensign Betty, she's personally calibrated them to ensure they cover the entire area.
Finish Betty.
That being said, firing the turrets should be considered a last resort.
Welche Art?
The cells you see here are for captured pirates and prisoners of war.
Kriegsgefangene, okay.
If you
verstehe.
apprehend any pirates during the course of your missions, they'll be detained.
Boah, ich freue mich schon, einen Piraten nach dem anderen festnehmen.
That's a loaded question. We err on the side of caution here, short of any physical abuse. But with the Crimson Fleet, you have to be very careful. If you give them an inch, they'll take a parsec and find a way to stab you with it.
Ist meistens so.
Yes, although it's always a balance. In the end of the day, these are ruthless pirates, and they will take advantage of any weakness you show. But I'll be the first to admit it's not an exact science, and we've made mistakes in the past with both the carrot and the stick. As chief officer of this brig, my worst fear is that we'll someday repeat them. As you were.
So, mehr wollte ich nicht. Let's go.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you...
Abdocken. So. Wir müssen... Ah. Wir müssen da.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Our scan detected contraband on board. Halt and prepare to be boarded. All illegal and stolen goods will be confiscated. You're on the wanted list. look.
Wieso werde ich gesucht? Was hab ich... Hä?
The Lux condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them home.
Keep on the straight and narrow. There won't be anything to worry about.
Stay away from the sixth circle unless you're a minor. Or at least, don't come crying to me if anything happens to you.
Jetzt hab ich wieder alles. Ist da noch hier in der Kiste?
The locals tend to stay out of trouble. Visitors? That's another story.
Nein. Okay.
Crime's at an all-time low around Sidonia. Let's keep it that way. If you're going to use the elevators or stairs to reach the other levels, try to keep them clean. I hate filing reports.
Da müssen wir dann hin. So. Ja Leute, wir werden hier die Folge beenden. Das waren nette Unterhaltungen. Und in der nächsten Folge starten wir als Undercover, oder wir versuchen es, dass wir es nicht verkacken und auch in die Crimson Fleet rein zu gelangen. Aber das sehen wir dann in der nächsten Folge. Vielen Dank. Bis dann und tschüssi.